You write one video script. By the time you're done recording, you have zero energy to turn that video script into a Twitter thread, a LinkedIn post, or an Instagram caption. So it just doesn't happen. I want to show you how I built an agent that takes one piece of content and turns that into content for every platform that you can actually post, including generating images for those platforms. So let's get into it. So this is our content repurposing agent. Now what this agent does is that it takes your simple form submission and transforms it into different scripts for all your content. Now this workflow starts with a simple n8n form submission. And in this form submission, we have our content title, a target audience, and the script you want it to repurpose, and also the platform you want it to repurpose. The script you actually added it for, the content you want to repurpose for you. So in this case, we wanted to repurpose for Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, blog, for our newsletter, and for our YouTube shorts too as well. So you can actually ask it to only repurpose for just one platform. It could be just for Twitter, it could be for LinkedIn, it could be for any channel you want it to repurpose for you. But in this case, I want it to repurpose for all these channels so you can see and feel the difference in all the content is repurposing for us. They are not going to be the same across all platforms, because like we know, in all platforms they have different the way each platform receives its content. So that is why we actually separated this platform so that each agent will concentrate on repurposing for each content alone. So now, to set up this n8n form, all you need to do is click on this plus icon here. So because we already have the n8n form as our trigger, we're just going to click on add another trigger here. So in this search bar, you search for form. Search for form here. You click on it. It's an add new n8n form here. So now we have another trigger here. We have our n8n trigger. So all you need to do to get all those fields that I added in the form there, all you need to do is click on add elements. You must name your form. So it is good practice that you name your form according to how you're going to remember it. So if you put anything generic, let's assume you have so many forms here in n8n, you're going to get confused. So it's better you name it something that you can actually remember. So I'm going to say content repurposing agent. Repurposing agent. It could be this, or you can make it simple, more simple, and you can add a description to your form. Now, the next step you need to do is add your form elements. So in the previous one, we had a title. We just put add title here, and that's all we need to do here. So the element, the form element type is just going to be a text input. That's simple as that. You don't need to put anything there again. Here, so depending on the inputs you want, input type you want. For me, I want just a simple text input because we're just putting the form the content side, so that's all what we are putting. So if you're putting a date, if you want the title to be a date, then the element type will be a date or a drop down depending on what you want. So for this case, we're just using text input. Now you could add another one. So the next one would then be the script or the target audience. So you put it here. So this too is also going to be a text input. So you add another one, which is the niche or the target audience. So the niche here, that's all you need to do. And then you add another form element, which is the platform. So the platform you want it to repurpose for. Now, after you've added that, then the elements type in this case now is going to be different because remember, we have different platforms here. So you're going to change this to multi-select. So it's going to be a checkbox. So in this one, we're just going to put a checkbox here. So then you're able to check for all those platforms. So when you're done with that, all you need to do is to test if this form is actually going to work. So you click on this execute step, then it's then going to listen. Okay, remember for the checkbox, you need to actually map. Let me close this first. For the checkbox, remember you need to map the platforms. You need to map the platforms here. So here we're going to put Instagram. Here, you're going to map it to checkbox field. So say LinkedIn. See LinkedIn here. Add another one. It could be X. Then the next one, your blog. So just fill in all the platform you want it to generate for you here. So when you're done with that, all you need to do is execute step. Then your form is going to be displayed here. So then you're going to put the title. So just say AI agent. AI agent. This could be any title you want it to actually work with. So the script could be anything. I'm just going to put AI agent is taking over. It's taking over. So that's just a simple. This doesn't need to be this. You can be very creative with your script. Let's say you create just a single script and you don't want to have to start creating different script for Twitter, Thread, LinkedIn, your blog, your newsletter. You just only have one script. that one script you've created that you want this agent to repurpose across all platforms is what you're going to put here. Then you're going to put your niche to be AI. Your niche could be hospitality. It could be fashion. It could be anything. So in this case now for the platform, I'm going to pick Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and the blog. And when you've done that, all you need to do is submit. You submit and that is it. So you can see node executed successfully, or everything we said we added in that form, they've all come through here. That's all you need to do. So now let's remove this. So now we don't, our content now, because we actually ran the previous one, our content actually disappeared, the pin data here. So I'm going to get that back. Let me get that back because I need those. Okay, so what we're going to do is submit another form. We can get back the previous data, but you can actually get that back if you go to your execution. But I want to show you guys how we submit another test data. So just click on the execute step. I'm going to get our content data. So I already have this. I'm just going to grab that from the document. So this is our content title. Why your WhatsApp bot replies too fast and how to fix it. We want to create content on this. So just go to grab this and go back to our agent, our form. So these are our form. We submit our target audience. Let's grab that. So our target audience are small business owner using AI chatbot for customer support. So just small business owners. So we're going to grab that and also put it here. And then we also have this is our script. If you built a WhatsApp bot with n8n, so this here is a script from a previous video I created. So if you haven't seen this video, please check the link in the description. You can watch it. So how to this workflow, it talked about how when your bot replies too fast. So instead of your bot actually understanding what the customer is saying, that imagine, for example, if someone sends hi, then the next one, the person sends, do you have a blue shirt? You know how people type, some people type like that. They just say something once, one at a time, instead of putting all the messages together. And because you're using an AI agent, the AI agent does not know that this, the messages are together, they have any relationship. So because of that, it actually responds to both the hi, the second message, and the third message, which gets your customer confused. But I created a workflow whereby the agent is able to relate these messages together and actually answer at once. If you haven't seen this video, if you haven't seen that video, link is in the description. Please check it out. Okay, so now this is our script here. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to submit it too as well. I'll go to our form. Add that here too as well. Then we have our platforms. So this here, I'm going to pick X, LinkedIn, Instagram, blog. I want for all the platforms. And if you notice here, you see this red asterisk here, and you don't see it here, but you see it here and you see it in the platform, because these parts, they are required. So these forms will not be submitted. This form data will not be submitted without this being completed. But this here is optional. And I'm going to show you how to actually make this required to n8n form. So I'm going to click on submit. So click on submit. There's a problem in submit. So, okay, our workflow is no longer listening. So let's see that. Oh, it's no longer listening. So let's just cancel. Let's cancel that and run our workflow again. We took a bit of time, so that is what happened. So we're just going to do that quickly again. Do that quickly. So I'm going to submit this, and I'm going to pick all this. Just pick them so we're fast. So let's get the content title quickly so that it doesn't stop running. So when your workflow is published, you don't have to be fast. But this is actually it takes data. So let me just say small business. So let's submit that. So let me go back there and just submit so we see what's happening. So submitted. So we have our data. Let's pin this here. And we're going to use this across the workflow. So now we have our second node here. So this is the set field node. You can find this in n8n by clicking on this plus button and search for the set. So this is here, edit field, set field. Both name works. So why I'm using this is because I want to normalize just the text here. You see the way it's looking here. There's a lot of text here, but with this n8n edit field here, I'm just able to just collect the data I want to use. I can name it whatever I want to name it. So I just change the name here to be title, the target audience, the transcript, the platform. You see the names here are different. When I run this, the name bear. These names are added here. So the edit field node can be used to manipulate data in n8n. So you can check that out too as well. So I'm going to run this. So now we have this here. You can see how clean this is here. There's no lot of text here. Just simple, just looking fine and good. We don't have this submitted at form mode. No, we don't have this variable. We just have this clean output here. So we have our title, our audience. Anybody seeing this, we actually know what this is. We don't even have to explain to them. We just have our title, the audience, the transcript, and the platform. All the platform we picked from our form. Okay, I also mentioned I was going to show you how to make that required. So to make that required, you have to click on this required field here. So when you remove this, it's no longer required. But when you add this, it's going to be required. So you must submit a data with on that particular field. So now that we have our output here, now we use the split node here. Now what the split node here is doing, because you see these platforms here, they are in an array. They're in an array, and you see them as a single output. It's a single output, and we can map all these outputs. We can map them here. It's just going to look messy and everything. So we want to split them out. We want to split it out so it can be its own individual output. That is why we are using this split node here to split this array here into a single individual text. Now that's the reason why I'm using that. Now when we execute this now, you have your 6 outputs. We sent only 1 input and we got 6 outputs. That's because we have 6 platforms here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in using the split, all you need to do is map the particular output you want it to split in the split node here. So you can see platform, we have platform here. Now we have 6 outputs now. And then we are now using our route node here. Now the reason for this route node here is to route each of those platforms into its particular branch so that the AI can work for each of those platforms. So that's the reason for this route here. So in this route here, we map if the platform is equals to Twitter, it goes to this branch. If the output is equal to LinkedIn, it goes to the other branch. If it's equals to Instagram, it goes to another branch. Same throughout. So that's what we did here. And a good thing about this route here, if you don't want to get confused with which branch is actually going to, you rename the output here. For this now, I can just name it Twitter. I'll just name it Twitter. And this place here, LinkedIn. We have LinkedIn. Then we have Instagram. So you're going to see how it's going to be. Now, it's not just going to be outputting 1, 0. No, it's just going to output the names. So let me show you what I'm talking about if I complete the naming. So you can see here now, it has Twitter, it has LinkedIn, it has Instagram. But the ones that I have not renamed, they have 3, 4, 5. So you see, if you want to understand, so if you don't name them, every single time you want to understand which branch this is going, you have to open the route before you understand the particular branch that is for. So, but when you name them, it becomes easy for you to understand. So let me rename this. This is going to be blog. This will be blog. Now the second one is going to be, this second to the last is going to be newsletter. Then we have our final branch, which is the YouTube shorts. I'm just going to put shorts here. So then you can see clearly here which branch it is for. So this is for Twitter, this is for LinkedIn, this is for Instagram, this is for blog, this is for the blog, this is for the newsletter, and this is for YouTube Shorts. Now we have our we use Entropic for this. So Entropic is our AI agent here that is going to repurpose the content we added from our form and put it into a Twitter thread for us. Now let's execute this workflow. We already have it. So the operation we are using here is messaging model. So when you search for Entropic in anything, we're using the messaging model operation. Then the model we're using is the Sonnet 4.6. And this is our prompts here, our user prompts, and we've mapped our variables into our prompts. So this here, the audience from our set variable, the title from our set variable, the contents from the set variables too as well. So we're no longer getting that. We are no longer mapping directly from the form, but now we're mapping directly from the set variable because we're no longer using, we're no longer picking the output from the form. But because we've normalized it with the set variable, that is why we are using it directly here. So I hope that makes sense. So now let's run this model to see what it gives us. Run this. So it's running now. That's Claude is processing what we've given it. So now you see the way this output is. It came with the JSON, with the N. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look the best. Now that's the reason we have this code node here to actually clean up that JSON. So it's going to look very neat without this JSON or this N. The N slash just means new line. So without just looking like this, it's just going to be clean. The new line is going to be there, but it's just going to look clean without the JSON. So Now you can see the JSON. It has removed the JSON. It has removed this asterisk on top. It has removed it. The new line just means the N just means new line. So you don't want your text looking all messy. You just want it to have that new line, those new lines, so it looks good. So it's just showing the new line here. But when we put this in Airtable, you're not going to see this /n. It's not going to be there. This /n is just meant for n8n to just show you there's going to be a new line in this text. So this is our Twitter message. Now let's run it now and see. We have it here. So we already executed that. Now we're going to send that to Airtable. We have Airtable where we are going to put our content so that you, when the AI has actually generated this for you, you can be coming to n8n to look at it now. You have to have a database where this data, where you can see this data clean, where you can see it without having to come to n8n. You can see it in Airtable directly. So we're going to, all you need to do to get this, you create a table in Airtable. We have our table already. So this is our table for the content. So let's wait for this to open up. So this is our content table here. Let's close this. This is our content table in n8n here. So all you need to do is go to Airtable, create a table in Airtable. We have our content drafts. This table is just strictly for our content draft. That is this base. So this is an Airtable base, and this here is our table. So our table has a title, the platform it is meant for, that content is meant for, the content body, the image prompts, and you know, not all of this platform requires an image, but platforms like Instagram requires for an image. So that's why we have this image prompt, the image URL, and we have the approval. So in case you don't like the content that's actually generated for you, you can actually reject it. And the good thing about this using Airtable for this is that when you can actually create another workflow whereby when you click on reject here, when the status is equals to reject, then it immediately triggers another workflow in n8n that actually regenerates the content, then actually adds it back to Airtable, then sends you a message in Slack or sends you a Gmail, an email telling you the content is complete. Then you can actually check from Slack if you like the content or not. If you like it, you can approve it from Slack directly, or you can reject it and it's going to be updated in Airtable. So these are things you can actually add in this workflow, but we did this workflow, we made this a lot more easier. This is just a very simple one. So we have our table here. This is where our content is going to live for each of those platforms. So now let's go back to our workflow. So now when we run this, it is going to add that to our Airtable. So this one here is for X. This is for Twitter, and the only ones we have here currently is for the newsletter and the short. Let me delete this so we can have a fresh table. So I need to delete this. So we have that deleted. Now let's run that again so we can have a fresh new record. So this workflow is successful. Let's check Airtable for it. So let me refresh this. So this is our data here. Now we can read directly the content it has created for us here. So let's see that. But we actually have some breaks here that we want. These breaks, these are just the Twitter thread it created for us. Remember, Twitter threads, you create like a first post, then in the comment, you just created that. Twitter is a thread. So when you add the first message, the first post, then you put the second thread. This is the third thread. We have multiple threads here. So it created all the threads for us. So your WhatsApp bot is probably replying 3 times to the same customer, not because it's broken, but because nobody told you it to wait. Here's the fix. So you can see the first message here. This is just the first message that intrigues the readers. Then they keep reading your thread. So here's the fix. The next one, when someone types 3 messages in a row, your bot sees 3 separate events. It has no idea they are all part of the same thought. So it fires back 3 times, looks chaotic and feels unprofessional. The root cause, the webhook is dumb. Each message that hits your n8n workflow is treated as a brand new conversation. There's 0 memory between them by default. The fix, it's called the bouncing. Instead of replying the second a message arrives, you pause for a few seconds. If more message comes in, you collect them all, then reply once to all full thoughts. So you can see this is a very good thread. This is something that people want to keep reading. You can see how good it is. It's something that people keep reading. Like, it's just very good. And you can actually add more, as in enhance your prompts better if you don't like the output. But for this, I think I love this very much. I can actually post this on Twitter and link people back to the video where I created this workflow and then we watch it. So you see how simple it is. There's not so much text. It's not creating it as if it's talking, as in it's creating for LinkedIn posts or Instagram. This is just for Twitter, and we're going to run for Instagram, we're going to run for LinkedIn. So you see the difference in output too as well. So now we have our Twitter. Now let's do, this is for LinkedIn. Let's have it run for LinkedIn now. Let's execute this workflow. So our LinkedIn post is ready. Now let's check out the LinkedIn post and see exactly what it has created for us. Now this is LinkedIn. So let's see. So you see the difference between the X post and the LinkedIn post. It made sure it actually gave space. So in Twitter, it tells us this is the next thread. This is how intelligent the AI is. And the reason it's doing this very well is because we put it in different, we gave each agent its own responsibility. We didn't ask one agent to do for Twitter, for LinkedIn, for Instagram. No, we made sure that it's working for just one platform at a time instead of working for the entire platform. Now it is just an independent agent working for just one platform at a time. That's what makes it so intelligent. You see how good, now how clean this is. So you see, if you're using a WhatsApp bot to handle customer message, there's a good chance it is frustrating people without you even realizing that. Do you see how good this is? Do you see how good this content body is? You can actually post this on LinkedIn and actually get people's interest. That's how good this is. So here's something I ran into when building with n8n. When customer sends 2 messages or 3 messages back to back, the bot fires off a separate reply to each one. So instead of getting one helpful, just look at this is very good. Now I can just add my video and just send people back to my YouTube channel. That's how good this is too now. So now let's check out the other platforms too as well. Next one is going to be Instagram. So let's run this. I'm just going to run this from the web, the Airtable directly, because when I run that, it's going to run all the other nodes here. So run this and run into this. So you can see this part here is longer. This is Instagram part. And with Instagram, it works with, you can create an Instagram post without an image. So that is why we need to create an image for this particular one. And to create an image, we use the tool called Dumpling AI. It's a very good tool for generating image, and it also does researches too as well. So check out dumplingai.com and you can go through the available endpoints. So we use the image generation endpoint to generate our image here, and we give it a prompt. So this is the image prompt Claude generated for us too, and this is the content body too for our Instagram post here. So we fed the Dumpling AI agent the image prompt for it to generate an image for us. So let's check out the image it actually generated for us here. Let's go. So this is the image it generated for us here. You can do more for this, or this works with our prompt. So this is the prompt we gave it, a clean square format illustration of a smartphone. You can see it was the prompt we gave it that it actually gave us the same thing we asked for. So you can see a clean square format illustration of a smartphone screen showing a WhatsApp chat interface. And that's exactly what we have here. That's exactly what we have here. So it works with your prompts. So the prompts, the better the image. So it gave us, and the model we use in generating this image is the Flux One. There's a Flux One model, so you can try out the different models. They have different models for image generation. You can actually check out Dumpling AI and use their endpoint to generate your own image too as well. So now we have our image generated, and we are sending that to Airtable too as well. So here we have more mapped out content. So we have the title, we have the platform mapped out, we have the content body, which is the caption for Instagram, we have the image prompt, and we have the image URL. Let's check out Airtable to see if that came true. So this is it here. So we have the Instagram. Now let's check out our caption. So you can see it even added emojis for us to as well. So you see, and also hashtags too as well for our Instagram. Now you see how good this is. You see how intelligent our AI is, because it is working for, we gave it the prompt to work for individual platform. We didn't bombard a specific entropic model with creating for Instagram, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, and that is why it is creating for each platform very well. So you can see the caption is not a lot. It just gives it something very simple. It's even saying drop an emoji if your bot needs fixing, or just drop this emoji if your bot needs fixing. So it's giving them a call to action. It's already a call to action. So your WhatsApp bot is probably annoying your customer and you don't know it. If someone sends 3 messages, your bot fires 3 separate replies, making it feel robotic and broken. The fix, the bouncing. You make the bot wait a few seconds before responding, collect all the messages together, then reply once like a human would. Smart work, huge difference in how professional your business feels. Okay, smart work, huge difference in how professional your business feels. So in that sense, drop an emoji if your bot feels it needs to fix. Then he also added the hashtag. Now you see how good this. If you don't want a lot of hashtag, you can just tell it to keep the hashtag within a limit of 3 or 5 within that range. But you can see the difference. Do you see the difference between all the output it has given? Now, this is for Twitter. You see, it created different threads for us. This is for LinkedIn. It created a whole LinkedIn post for us. And it gave a call to action for each of those platforms. For LinkedIn, if you're running your WhatsApp bot right now, have you tested what happens when the customer sends you multiple messages in a row? Can you see? Very brilliant question. And this is going to prompt people to actually respond to your post. Now we also have the Instagram with its call to action and the hashtag. And we have the image prompt here. So this is the image prompts we use in generating our image. And this is the image URL that you can also just click on it and it's going to open the image for you. If you don't like that, you can reprompt it or put the status to disapprove or pending or something, and you can fire another workflow if you've created that. So now let's check out other ones like the blog post. This is something interesting. I would like to see how it generates a blog for us. So let's go ahead and run this. Let's run that scene. So this blog too, also blogs looks interesting when you have image in it. It just makes readers want to read more. So that's why we are generating an image for it too as well. So you get this agent is a very powerful agent that you can use in your business as well. You don't have to keep thinking of content every single day. Just give AI the power to build those content for you, and it's going to do a very good job too as well, just as long as you set up your agent properly. So let's check out the blog post too as well. That's okay. This just came through now, and you see the way I set up my Airtable base, my Airtable table to look very good in a way that at a glance the platform it is for. You see, it is grouped to the specific platform it is creating for. So the more content comes in, the more you're going to see how good this is. You can say good or organized, an organized way of setting up your table. Now, all I needed to do here was that I just grouped the output into the platform. So what I did here, I just clicked on grouped by platforms. So the more they come in, they just line up. So what I can do here too is that I can just do it from last to first. And you can just play around with this. So let's go back to our message. So let's see our blog post here. So this is our blog post here. Wow, this is long. This is long. But blog post is actually long. So let's see. Now this is going to be the title of our blog, and you can see it put this markdown here signifying it's going to be the headline here. So it also added that here again. So see, you built. Now, I don't want to have to read all this because this looks like it's going to be very interesting. The good news, this is a very common problem. It has a clean and practical fix. Let's break down exactly what happened and how to solve this. What is actually going on? What is actually going on? When someone sends you a WhatsApp message through a bot built on a tool like n8n, each message triggers what's called a webhook event. Think of it as a doorbell. Wait, can you see? You've seen the difference with all the outputs. No one is alike. None of the outputs are actually alike. They are all different, made specifically for that particular platform. Twitter is different, LinkedIn is different, Instagram is different. And this blog post, I think this blog post has to be the most impressive to me. The problem is that people don't type in one clean, complete sentence. And that is actually true. Most people don't type in one clean, complete sentence. Most people just type hi. Then after the hi, they say another thing. Then after that another thing, they say another thing again. They type the way they talk. Exactly. They type the way they talk. They send one message, then another. Then they thought as an afterthought. Something like, can you see? It's even giving example. It's giving example. Hey, I wanted to ask something about your pricing. Specifically then in another row, specifically for the monthly plan. Oh, another row. Oh, do you have a free trial? Just look at this. Isn't this just intelligent? This isn't a bug in your logic. It is timing problem. the fix, it is called the bouncing. And that's, if you haven't watched this, just check out the link in the bio, in the description, sorry. The link in the description, and you get to see the video we are actually referring to here. So you actually fix your workflow, your chatbot too. So the bouncing software, the technique borrowed from software development. The basic idea is simple. Instead of reacting the moment something happens, you wait a short period to see if more events are coming. Only after things go quiet for a few seconds do you act. No, I love this so much. I love this. This is just, if I haven't created a blog, or if I had a blog, I would just post this. This is just wow. I love it so much. Apply to your WhatsApp bot. It works like this. When a message arrives, instead of processing it immediately, you pause. You wait for a few or 4 seconds. If another message arrives during that window, you reset the timer. You keep waiting. Once the customer stops sending the message, the timer runs out. You combine everything into one unified message, then process it as a single thought. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Let me just keep reading. I just want to read this. Where am I? So the bot reads the full picture before it speaks. It feels less like a vending machine and more like someone actually listening. I love this so much. That's why I want to read to the end. How to set this up in n8n? Inside n8n, you implement the bouncing using combination of webhook trigger, wait node, data store to hold the incoming message temporarily. Here's the raw flow. Now, this is just the flow about how the setup works in n8n. Now, let's talk about why this matters to your business. When a customer feels like they are being listened to, they trust you more. When your bot fires off 3 fragmented replies, it signals that your business isn't paying attention, which is true. It is why you need us to create this for your work, for your business. You need us to create this for your business. This creates a friction right at the moment when someone is trying to engage with you, which is correct. Now, please just tell me you love what this agent has created for you. Now, this is a blog that I can actually get readers to actually read this to the end. Although it's long, but that's how blog works. It's long. Now, if you don't want your blog to be long, you can actually add this to your agent, telling it to keep it at a specific amount instead of overwriting. Now, that's what like I mentioned, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll see when I mentioned that all these AI agents, they work with prompts. Your LLM, your agent, your AI, they work with prompts and with good prompts. When you give them good prompts, then they work for you instead of working against you. Now, a bot that rushes to reply feels cheap. A bot that listens feels like an asset. Let me read that again. A bot that rushes is a bot that feels cheap. A bot that listens feels like an asset, which is true. Now, start with small stuff. You don't need to rebuild your entire automation, which is correct. Start by adding the debounce layer to your existing WhatsApp flow. Now, test it by sending a few rapid fire messages to yourself and see how it responds. Adjust the wait time based on how your customer typically types. Exactly. Adjust the wait time based on how your customer typically types. So some people are very slow in typing, and it would be good if you just put like a few seconds, or you can add the wait to about 30 seconds or less or more, depending on how people type. So 2 seconds usually feels enough, but 4 seconds is safer. Exactly. 4 seconds feels safer because 2 seconds just goes by just very fast. So right now, I'm actually talking about the debouncing workflow we created previously, but we're just mixing the two so you actually get a clear view on what we actually built. So get this right. Your WhatsApp bot stops being a source of complaint and starts being something you're actually proud of to have running in the background of your business. That is correct. Now, I love this blog post so much. I love that. That was really clean. Now let's see the image it created for us. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't added properly. Let me see. So let me go to our API. So let's see if our API actually created the image. Let's check directly and see why. Let's go there. It's created a very nice image for us. But let's see. I think the way I mapped it was wrong. That's why our image didn't come true. Okay. This is the problem. I mapped the image prompt in the image URL. That was the problem. So let me remap that. So check out the Dumpling AI image creator. It creates really nice image, and you can see from the images it has created for us that it gives us very good image. And it has different image models that you can also check out. Now we have 2 that we have to go through. So let's check out our newsletter and see the newsletter too. So this is done. Let's check out Airtable now. Let's wait a minute for that to come in. So let's refresh this. It's taking a bit of time. Okay. So this is our newsletter. So it's your WhatsApp bot replying 3 times when the customer sends you 3 quick message. That's not a glitch. It shows how most bots are built, but there's something called the bouncing that makes your bot. So this is really good, very simple. So learn how to set this up here. You just put your link straight to the point. Nobody wants to read a whole blog post in your newsletter. Very simple with a link that directs them directly to your YouTube channel. Just tell me, like at this point, I give it to the agent. I give it to the agent because it is doing so good. So good. I love this so much. Now let's try out our final part. So if you have any more platforms you want to add, you can add them here. But I think this is good enough. So let's run this now to see. Now this is going to be our YouTube shorts. Then be content, a script for your YouTube shorts. So let's see. No. So this is our YouTube shorts. Let's see. So it's just giving you a script here. So your WhatsApp message. So this is something simple. Your YouTube shorts is not going to be long, right? So this is it here. You can make it a carousel, or you can record a video that says this. So this is good. I love this so much. So now we have done all this. You've seen how our agent works. The agent is actually very intelligent. And so if this agent was actually built in a way that it does all one agent is doing the work of the 6 agent, it's still going to give us a very good output the way we've seen so far. Now, the reason we got very good output is because each of this AI are working for each of this platform. They are not being bombarded with all the platforms to create all that. That is why we are getting a better result. Now, if you've enjoyed watching this, click in the subscribe to this channel because we post videos like this and many more. And my name is Neka, co-founder Orchestrix. Together with my co-founder 5, we build AI automations like this and web products for businesses. So if you wanted to build something like this for you, just click in the link in the description to book a 15-minute discovery call with us, and we are going to create this for you. So if you enjoyed watching this, give us a thumbs up, and you can also comment and tell us what you would like us to build next for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.